The Colts offseason is getting pretty busy. We're getting more Trey Hendrickson rumors. Could he find his way to Indianapolis? Bob Cooter, things are heating up there. He may not be a Colt much longer, or on the staff much longer, however you want to put it. And we've been talking draft, and you guys have been responding, so I thought we'd talk about a fan favorite draft prospect on today's episode of Colts Talk. But first, before we get the show going, get down into the comment section and let me know. I want to find out more about you guys. Who's your all-time favorite Colts player in the history of you being a fan, of you watching, of you being at games? Who's your favorite Colt of all time? Free agency for the Indianapolis Colts is definitely something we're going to talk about daily on this show. And Trey Hendrickson, he's a free agent target I listed, and now he's a free agent target PFF has listed for the Indianapolis Colts. Their pursuit of Trey Hendrickson, an edge rusher, which, by the way, I think is a very good class. Hendrickson at the top of it, and an option certainly for the Colts who could use help at the edge rusher position and will be losing multiple players at the edge rusher position. So PFF kind of listed some free agents that each team needs to target, needs to go after, needs to find, and Hendrickson was one they listed for the Colts. Bradley Locker wrote the article and listed some other players for other teams. So you guys can get out there and check that one out. But the words from Locker on kind of the idea here is, despite his age and injury history, Hendrickson has displayed no signs of slowing down. The All-Pro has posted a 20% pass rush win rate or better in each of the last 5 seasons, including at least a 25.3% mark on true rush pass sets. Playing under Lou Anarumo again seemed like a possibility at the trade deadline, but general manager Chris Ballard instead, they went out and got Sauce Gardner. Now Ballard could easily deploy some of his $26.9 million in cap space and splurge on the star edge rusher. Such good stuff from Bradley Locker there on Trey Hendrickson. Now, if you were the GM, if you were making the call, if you had the Irsay money in hand, would you sign Trey Hendrickson? Do you want the Colts to sign Trey Hendrickson? Get down into the comment section right now. Type Y for yes, sign him, or type N for no. Go with someone else or move on, however you want to put it. Y for yes, N for no on signing Trey Hendrickson. Kind of broke it down a little more. Yes, there is some injury history there, especially lately. I just think it was a year from hell trying to get out of Cincinnati, and then he's in Cincinnati, and then it's back, abdominal injuries all over the place, surgery. But hey, should be coming into next season pretty fresh. And as Bradley Locker noted, the stats have been there for years. The past, for that 3-year stretch leading into this past season, just so good. So good. And even when he's had issues injury-wise, he's battled through them. Even when he's had down weeks, he's bounced back and played well. I kind of wondered if it would be an early successful contract from the Bengals after getting Trey Hendrickson. Nope, it was good the entire time that he was in Cincinnati. And again, his value at 2 years, $26 million, looks to be about what he'd get, $21 million or $25 million a year. I think that's perfect. That's perfect for the Colts. Get your edge rusher, you make a splash in free agency, you boost the confidence of the team, and it's just a 2-year deal, right? That's kind of where I sit with it is at 2 years, I know it's a lot of money, but for just 2 years, probably the best final 2 years of Trey Hendrickson's career, that's going to be with the Colts, right? I love that idea. Now, the thing here is it's going to get a little messy, interesting, however you want to put it for the Colts in free agency. They kind of have a lot of bases to cover when they get into free agency. Of course, you want them to re-sign Daniel Jones. That's kind of a big deal. Get a quarterback for next season in Daniel Jones, right? We're talking fan favorites stay in the draft. Fan favorites free agency-wise, you guys want Alec Pierce back. I know you do at that free agency position. So I don't know what order you want to put it as far as like Hendrickson, Jones, Pierce, Jones, Hendrickson, Pierce, Jones. I don't know. Got to take care of all of them, though, it seems. If you want a start pass rusher, you want Alec Pierce back, and you want your quarterback back for another season in Daniel Jones, free agency is going to get kind of crazy for the Colts coming up. Hey, great reason to subscribe to Colts Talk, of course. We pivot from player to coach. Bob Cooter. This is another good reason why you subscribe, okay? We kept you up to date on this. We said, hey, teams are beginning to look at Jim Bob Cooter, specifically Philly was looking at Jim Bob Cooter for their offensive coordinator position. He did a virtual interview, and how I will put it is he was a name in the hat, right? There were 8, 10 names Philly was interviewing, talking about, figuring out. Then all of a sudden, name off the board, name off the board, name off the board, name off the board, and Jim Bob Cooter scores a second interview in person with the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right. His connection, we broke it down for you, connected Nick Sirianni, Shane Steichen, Cooter. They're all kind of involved. And again, he's not calling plays for the Colts. He would call plays for the Eagles, right? So that's kind of the interest in changing teams there. And then I promise you, I had this show ready to go. I prepared everything. I had everything ready to rock. And then Peter Schrager reports Cooter is going to interview with the New York Giants. They're going to meet with Jim Bob Cooter. This is also a situation where I believe he would call plays for the Giants offensively. So you go from not calling plays with the Colts. By the way, I think with that's an interesting talent jump, too, to go from the Colts to Philly. And then still, I don't know how you guys see the Giants. I know that's kind of a mixed bag for people. The key here, my thought on the Jim Bob Cooter situation. First things first, got to keep an eye on this. Stay up to date with us here on Colts Talk because this is important because you have to break down when Cooter leaves, and then we're going to react right and have candidates to replace him if he leaves. Like I said, I felt he was a name in the hat, being considered, talked about just a little bit. Now I think he is up for these jobs, in it for these jobs. Specifically, Philly, they've lost name after name after name for that job. Brian Daboll's out. Multiple other names that they thought could be their next play caller out. And now you get to a point now where the Giants, they thought Todd Monken was a shoo-in for their offensive coordinator. Todd Monken's the next head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Both these teams lost serious candidates, and I think the serious now is Jim Bob Cooter. The seriousness of that situation is up. So you definitely want to keep an eye on that, and we will help you keep an eye on that here on Colts Talk. Trades, rumors on free agency, rumors on the draft, rumors on coaching changes. We will have all of it during the offseason, so be sure to hit that sub button right now. All right, this one's for the fans. We put draft content out there. We showed you guys mock drafts, draft targets, Kuiper, McShay, Brugler, what they're thinking over and over and over again. I saw your comments. I read your comments. I like to respond to you guys. D'Angelo Pons. How are we getting him? When are we getting him? Make sure you talk about him. Here we go. This one's for you, Colts fans. Yep. Draft target, if that's how you want to put it, or a guy the Colts should be looking at. And hey, I never said they shouldn't be looking at him. I just didn't necessarily have corner as one of the higher needs for the Indianapolis Colts. D'Angelo Pons, national champion, right? Transferred, part of that Kurt Cignetti, James Madison group to Indiana. I thought he's been good. We're talking this morning with the guys in studio. Probably can get him with that 47 pick, right? I don't know if he'll make it into the 100 and teens for that third rounder for the Colts. But with he did in college, where he's at right now, where the Colts are picking, 47 wouldn't be too crazy. Trading back and getting him wouldn't be too crazy. And talking with the guys in the office, they said it's perfect. They're thinking it's very high on him. Tom Downey, one of our head draft guys here at Chat Sports, I'm high on him, and I think he's perfect for the Colts, right? Not only would he be able to get on the field and help them in the slot, would help them financially. They could cut Kenny Moore and move on from Kenny Moore, and that would be certainly a difference maker for the Colts on both the field and off the field. So, hey, shout out to you, Colts fans. You guys are on the channel. You guys are telling me what you want to hear about, and D'Angelo Pons is definitely one of them. Now, new tradition that we have, or new tradition for this show, but tradition for Chat Sports. We like to try and see who's who and what's what and what you guys are thinking. We'll continue that. If you want D'Angelo Pons with the Colts, let us know by typing me.